His new venture overseas, Comsol Volkswagen Challenge, is up next. And in this championship, it's also pretty much still up for grabs. It's Class Bs that are basically in the front end of the overall championship, with an outside chance of Voldy squeezing in there. But the way things have gone this year, it's basically up to Darren and Nick to sort things out in Class B and the overall championship. A big field here, which means Class A and C will be combined, and then we'll have a separate race with the Class Bs. Now get ready to go. We are on board with Rory Atkinson. As the lights go out, we drop the hammer and head down towards turn 1. And it looks like Atkinson might just be squeezed out here. Voldy's going to go around his outside and take the whole shot into turn 1. Look out for Harry Potter coming from the back. You see James Hurley unfortunately had some issues and had to start right at the back of Class A, as Class C right on their tail with a little bit of action and some Golf 1s running wide into turn number 1.
We've seen plenty of action so far today in turn number 2. Looks like they're all going to make it through. And as I say that, car number 23 there just running slightly wide onto the dirt, but manages to get back on. But out front, it does look like it is Creel and Atkinson going into turn number 4 for the first time, with a huge host of very fast drivers right on their tail.
You can see in Class C, Lyle Ramsey's pulled slightly away as they come into turn 4. And on the inside of Graham Savage is the Comsol machine. Look at how tight it is there. Oh, Voter out of shape. Voter gets out of shape, comes across and tags Henry van Vletter. Henry's swapped cars, of course, with his wife. He's in the Golf 1. We're going to go on board with him with this replay. Have a listen to this as they come through here. It doesn't look like he's got anywhere to go. Oh, that's a big one.
Sure.
Into the Citizen motoring boards, and I think that might make front page of the Citizen after a big tag like that.
After that sound, that is for sure. So trying to sort out who's where now. Oh, still more bumping and bashing going on, and we've seen it the whole season. Voldy coming down the hill now into the final turn for the first time. Looks like he's managed to open up a little bit of a gap over the rest of the field as our leaders come streaming through past the line.
The top 3 have pulled away, there's no doubt about it. Theon Creel going incredibly well. Can't believe how well this man has slotted into the Comsol Volkswagen Challenge in the Imperial Select Polo. As he gets down on the braking markers, he's got to try and keep out Rory Atkinson's. Not an easy thing to do. Back in the mid-pack, you can see big challenges happening here between the two Dales. That's Samdale and Christel fighting with Duncan Murray, and they're a little bit further up the road. Sean Kraus fighting with Graham Savage. Goldwagen versus Ankro Building Projects. That is for second place in Class C at this stage as they go through turn 1. Look how hard Sean is working to get past there on Graham Savage. Savage having one of the good days here, and hopefully he can keep that little Golf 1 ahead of the slightly more aerodynamic Polo.
Just behind the 2 leaders in Class C, Elke van Vletter and Luan Ruas, with Christian de Wet just behind them. That's an incredible battle going on as car number 8 in the C. That does look like it is Philip Krauser. He's run off at turn number 2 and makes it another driver that goes off at turn number 2. We've seen plenty of those today. On board here with Rory Atkinson. Just doesn't have an answer at the moment for Creel out front, but running in a comfortable second at the moment.
Yeah, I love the way that they're going at it so hard. Theon Creel in amongst the back markers has now put something between him as the checkered flag comes out for race 1 for Class A and C. He will take Class A ahead of Atkinson and Mikey's.
Final
Wade
turn.
Kraus and Smallberger get out of shape. The King Price Insurance car takes out the Sabertech Beetle and Tasman Pepper, and looks like, yes, just sneaking through there, Ian Stevenson. What a bit of driving. Lyle Ramsey in the Munro Racing Polo, no worries for him. He is miles ahead of second place, Graham Savage. So Class C basically should be going his way as he comes under braking down into the final turn. Unfortunately, though, a technical infringement on that car will see him drop out of the lead. And the lead will, of course, be taken by the man who is fighting for second. That is Graham Savage. Sean Kraus in second. And Luan Ruas comes through for third. There's Class A, though. Creel, Atkinson, and Meinkies ahead of Tasman Pepper and Harry Potter in 5th. Savage takes the Class C's, Sean Kraus ahead of Luan Ruas, Elke van Vletter, Christian de Wet, and a great drive from Duncan Murray after going off earlier on. We caught up with Harry Potter to find out what happened in race number 1.
I blew a motor, so we managed to get a motor in for Thursday. Blew that up again on Friday. So we worked very late hours thanks to all the guys that helped me and all the sponsorship that helped pay for everything. But we managed to get it on the grid. We didn't make qualifying, so started from last place. We managed to get up to 5th with the fastest lap, which put me on pole for second race.
Great racing out of A and C. Now we head into Class B. And literally coming into this round, Darren Nathan had to get the pole position, had to get the fastest lap and race 1 win. Unfortunately, hasn't gone his way so far. He didn't get pole position. That went to Nick Clark, and it looks like Clark might have hung on as they head in there. Let's see who's going to get the fastest lap and see whether Darren Nathan can do better than where he currently sits round the outside in 4th place in the Nathan's Motorsport machine.
Good start there for Nick Clark, Adrian Wood and Darren Nathan. So those three are out front at the moment. On board here with Adrian Wood as he's in the slipstream of the two men out front, coming onto the back straight for the first time. Looks in his rearview mirror and he just sees 15 or 16 other cars as around the outside. That is indeed Darren Nathan doing what he needs to do. He needs to get ahead of Nick Clark.
Brad Hall comes through Hellerman Titan corner. Well, we call it that because all the Hellerman Titan guys are up on the outside and they're getting all this kind of action as Roberto Joaquim just gets it completely out of shape through turn 4. Cold tires through 4 will cost you dearly. You do not want to make mistakes like that. Leon Udendal coming up on the inside, and can he sneak through? Yes, he can. Makes a maneuver and just finds a way through on a hard charging Elna Cruiser.
That really is a brilliant move. Left his braking to the last second and got on the inside here. As we see going into the final turn now for the first time, does look like Nick Clark trying to make that bit. Just forces. That's Darren Nathan, his championship rival, out onto the grass, comes back on the track, and Nick Clark, there we see Nathan still on his outside going into turn 1. So watch out for that battle. That's going to go down to the wire. There is literally no holds bar between those two men out on track.
Now remember, it's for Class B honours as well as the overall championship in the Comsol Volkswagen Challenge. And you can see Needham in the Tron car starting to put a bit of pressure. A little bit of issues here coming in, and unfortunately Andre de Lange is out of this one. That's not the way he wanted to finish the season. Nick Clark starting to move to the front end of this field rapidly, and he's now taken the lead. Look where Nathan is, down in 4th. That is not good enough for Darren Nathan. He has to get up and make a maneuver into 3rd place. Otherwise, this championship might just slip out of his hands and back into the reigning champion's hands. Car number 1, Nick Clark. Oh, he's been helped out here a little bit. Look at that, Jacques Smith. We haven't really mentioned him. He's been in the mix right from the word go, but Smith is the thorn amongst the roses here because he is just throwing in something that these guys didn't want to contend with, particularly at this last round.
All that bumping and bashing has allowed Nick Clark out front to pull a little bit of a lead now over the field. At the top of the hill now with Leon Udendal. And there we get tagged. That's Millet Stewart, unfortunately spinning out. And the red car there of Roberto Joaquim again running off the circuit. So not a good day for the man out in that VW car. And looks like Stewart able to rejoin the track, so hopefully he can make up a couple of positions.
The other red car a little bit further up is having a phenomenal day. Michael Harris, ex-Superbike rider, having a great dice and into the top 5. Lindsay Kleur was actually the protagonist up there, giving a little tag to the back end of Millet and helping him off the circuit. Brad Pithall having an amazing run here, keeping out Michael Harris as running off the circuit. Here's the Tron car, and Quinton Needham got it all out of shape there. No worries at all. Nick Clark doing it all right here for the first outing, and a race 1 win will definitely help him out to maintain just a slight margin over Darren Nathan, who only finishes in 3rd place, just beating Brad Hall to the line. Adrian Wood in 2nd, and of course Michael Harris down in 5th place, his best finish of the season. We caught up with Jacques Smith to find out what happened in the last part of the race.
Started off 3rd, had an amazing start, got into the lead, led for a few laps, and then Nick, with a very bold move, Nick took me on the outside of turn 4. Adrian and I just had a massive scrap for 2nd, and in the end, I took it, and it was just amazing.
We head straight back into Class A and C for the final heat of the season. Rory Atkinson would love to take that final blood, but Stian Kriel, the way he's going today, is going to be a difficult man to beat. Get some tyres all sorted out, and little adjustments on a few of the cars at the front end. More importantly on this front end battle is who is going to win out Class A. And another little factor to be thrown in, look at those windscreen wipers. It has started to drizzle here. It's going to be wet. Lyle Ramsey tries to get the drop off the line and try to go in amongst those Class A contenders as quickly as possible and maybe put a couple of cars between himself and the contenders in Class C. He's done that brilliantly. As they go into turn 1, he's moved up about 3 or 4 positions. At the front end, looks like James Hurley and Harry Potter's got the magic going. Stevenson hasn't got it going. The Comsol man runs completely off the circuit in the wet, tricky conditions.
I think this is the first time these guys have experienced wet weather conditions the whole season. So really having to now adjust their driving style to suit these conditions. Stian Kriel doing a great job. He's trying to match James Hurley going into the right-hander now for the first time. Look how wet it is, and vision is going to be impaired big time here. So you want to be as far out front as possible because you do not want the spray from the cars ahead of you on your windscreen.
How was that change of line going through turn 4 there from Stian Kriel, and it's made it stick going up to the top of the hill. Can he make it stick and
defensive?
Keep it? Nice driving here from Rory Atkinson, but he's late on the brakes, and Valdi just maybe taking it easy for now. Kraus runs wide at the top, so does Tasman. The two of them coming back in it, and not off the track though, just a little bit wide on the black stuff. As the rest of the field come through there, the two Dales getting out of shape, and a couple of cars in the background, including the leader of Class C. Lyle Ramsey's got it completely wrong there. Here's the onboard from Ramsey. How do you see?
What is going on?
It's going crazy. A couple of cars off the circuit. Unfortunately, Ramsey was one of them. He had to try and find his way back through the Kid Hilliter and onto the black stuff. The balls are at it. Yes, indeed. Super Spar are in the house. And if Grant Ball and Adrian Ball are on the track and it's raining, you're going to see some action. And it's almost in sync.
Now, Zwartkops normally hosts a lot of drift cars racing series, but today is not one of them. But the guys out there, remember, they don't run wet weather tyres. They're on their normal cut slicks that they're on in the dry, and you can see that it's really starting to impair the drivers, both on the brakes and getting on the gas coming out of the turns. Look how they have to fight the steering wheels of these cars. You can see there, even in a straight line, it really is hard. You really have to control the cars. And that was Levine going into turn number 2, just losing out.
Oh, losing out.
You can't do that.
Sideways in. Stevenson, keep it going. He just keeps it buried. Goes down the second gear, keeps it buried, and manages to come out just ahead of Derek Smallberger. Smallberger, best seat in the house for that action. Stian Kriel leads out at this stage. He's trying to keep out. And it's a tough call there because Rory Atkinson, with that dry line, is definitely closing in and may be able to squeeze through there for the win.
This is experienced. Stian Kriel is still right on his tail. James Hurley has unfortunately dropped down. He was our early pace setter, but he's down in about 3rd place now. Valdemanki's just behind them. And Class C, that's Luan Ruus. He's chasing down Savage in Class number C at the moment.
Looking to come into turn 1. You can see he gets past on the straight. Hopefully hasn't gone in too hot. Savage in the Goldwagen car just hanging on for now. And as you can see, he's out of shape.
I heard tyres squealing. You can see the rain. You can see the rain coming down a little bit harder now, so the drivers really are not having to get they don't have the grip that they want out there at the moment. Stian Kriel doing everything he can. This is really where experience counts. And you can see the final part of the circuit is dry, but certainly the first part is still a little bit wet as they come into the final stages. Now the checkered flag is out, and that'll be race number 2 win for Rory Atkinson.
Stian Kriel in second takes the overall victory on the day, and James Hurley comes through for third, and Graham Savage looks like he's going to hang on for the win in Class C. Yes, he does. Second place going to Sean Kraus, and Christel comes through for third. There's confirmation of Class A. Rory Atkinson, Stian Kriel, James Hurley, Valdi Mankis, Wayne Masters, Piazza Musso, Wayne Kraus, and Tasman Pepper.
In Class C, it was all about Graham Savage, Sean Kraus, Christopher Dale, Sam Dale, Lal Ramsey, Simon Levine, Luan Ruus, and the new man, Gareth Lyke. Let's catch up then with race winner Graham Savage.
It was quite wet. The rain came out just before we went out. I started second on the grid. Sean Kraus got a good start. Luan unfortunately had some wheel spin on the line. I managed to stick behind Kraus for a couple of laps, then he made a mistake. He pushed a bit hard and he fell off. And then I just tiptoed it home for a win.
After a tough day, we caught up with Tasman Pepper.
It was a little bit hectic. I mean, I got a really bad start. I got too much wheel spin off the line, and I got up, I got going again. Eventually got past Wayne, and I started catching Voldy, and then it started drying up, but I had no idea. I couldn't see out my window, so I didn't know it was dry, and the guys started passing me around my outside. I didn't know what was going on, so I started following their lines and realized there actually was a dry line. So I got back with them, had a nice little dice. It's a pity about how the season ended, but I mean, congrats to Rory and Voldy. I mean, they did a spectacular job this year, and I'm looking forward to next year, going back to Polo Cup. Gonna go bash some bars with the guys over there and have a little bit of fun again.
Lights out, and Class B gets underway for the final time in 2016 as they head down towards turn 1. It's all up to Darren Nathan now. He has to win. That's the bottom line. If he doesn't win this out, unfortunately, the championship is not going to go his way. Roberto Joachim is just looking to stay on the track. And more importantly, you can see conditions have dried out dramatically. Yes, the rainbow's in the sky, but the sun's out and the track is almost completely dry right the way through.
Darren Nathan already pushed to the outside of the circuit, so not where he wants to be. Red flag, so we've got an incident somewhere at the moment. There we go. Look at that. On 3 wheels is that one car. Unfortunately, that's going into turn 2 again. On board here with Michael Harris, and you can see the carnage just ahead of him between the 2 drivers.
He just missed out on the incident between Brad Pitt-Hall in the Hillerman Tight machine and the other Nathan's Motorsport car of Dion Holiday Jr. Restart. This time Nathan gets a much better start, goes into second place, tucks in behind his championship rival. He's got to beat Nick Clark. In second place, it's not going to be good enough. So let's see what Nathan can do as they head down towards turn 2 for the first time, and under braking and under pressure from Jacques Smith and from the Tron car of Needham and around the outside. And in 5th place comes the Laserfish machine there of Adrian Wood.
Yeah, it's all up to Nathan. He's got to stick with that man out front, Nick Clark, who's already got a slight gap, so not what Nathan wants to see. I wonder if he's got some grip issues out on the circuit because just doesn't have the pace this weekend. That championship playing on his mind. Nick Clark, 3 wheels through turn number 4, but Nathan looking in his rearview mirror and seeing a host of cars pointing and saying, please don't do it to me. You're going to have to go around the outside.
Yeah, I think he's actually waving Woody through to allow him to try and close in.
Yeah.
He wants to try and use Wood to get up and possibly close the gap between himself and Nick Clark.
He knows he doesn't have the pace.
2 cars working together basically basically go through the air a bit quicker. That's kind of the theory. Whether or not it's going to work for him, we'll wait and see. He's waved him past, but he hasn't gone. You can see that the defensive driving coming out of the Laserfish machine to keep out Jacques Smith and Needham is unfortunately not allowing him to get past and into second place ahead of Nathan.
Yeah, that's never really a good tactic though. You really just have to go, but at the moment he just doesn't have the pace. There we go, he makes a move on the inside there, so Wood up into second place. So can he close down that gap on Nick Clark? That's exactly what Nathan wants, but he's got to be careful here. He's got 2 very fast drivers, 3 very fast drivers right on his tail. So if he's not careful, he could be promoted outside of the top 3.
You can see Michael Harris is not holding anything back. He goes on the inside of Needham. Nice drive here from the Zwartkops machine of Leon Odendaal fighting with Lindsay Kleur there. And now we go on board with Kleur as he fends off hard-charging Roberto Joachim. Joachim's found something special here for race number 2 and certainly going a lot better and maintaining all 4 wheels on the black stuff.
I love watching these cars go through turn 4. Literally 3 wheels, and they really do carry an enormous amount of pace. That's why we've seen so many incidents there. And Michael Harris, what a drive. The best drive of the season so far from this young man. Remember, came from 2-wheeled racing up into 4. He's late on the brakes at the top of the hill. And yeah, can he take advantage? And look, Nathan's tactics are not paying off now because he's dropping down the field.
He's got problems, and Michael Harris is not happy about it. He said, come on, give me some room to play. He gives you enough room, and he'll squeeze through. Michael Harris using a 600cc strategy to through there and makes it stick. Nick Clark comes across the line, and with Nathan out of the top 5, wow, that is a big, big loss there. Nick Clark is going to take the win and the championship again and maintain that number 1 plate. Woody in second, Smith in third, Michael Harris beating Darren Nathan to the line. Nathan has lost the championship in that very last chance of asking. It's only by 1 point, but wow, what an incredible season out of Comsol Volkswagen Challenge. Rory Atkinson from Class A comes through to take 3rd place overall, and we caught up with our new champion, Nick Clark.
And I went all the way down to the last round. I mean, he had a 13-point gap on me going into this round, and I've just done everything right today. I've had the best event of the whole year, and we put it together when it counted. So it's an amazing series. I'd just like to thank Comsol and Central Technical Services for the sponsorship this year. It's an absolute great year. Again, thank you very much, guys.
Well, some